What's good, guys? Welcome back to the Last Word Music. And today we have an absolute banger. We are doing an album review, or technically a mixtape, or whatever you want to call it, on Drake's latest project, Dark Lane Demo Tapes.
Yes, sir.
It was, well, you'll see how we thought it was. But today, we obviously got Dean, we got Scotty. How you boys doing today?
I'm doing good, bro.
Pretty good, Chuck. How about you?
Bro, I'm doing fantastic. I say we just jump right into it, man. I say we just jump right into it. So, first thing on the rubric is lyricism. Now, what were you guys' thoughts? Worth 20 points, by the way. 20 points for lyricism.
Okay. I'll start off with this. Listening through this mixtape, I was getting some vibes. It was definitely very like melancholy, kind of like somber. A lot less like upbeat and poppy than Scorpion. I feel not like poppy, but like it was a lot more moody than Scorpion. As for lyrics, like specifically, I don't know if there's anything like groundbreaking on this mixtape. It was like on like Chicago Freestyle and on When to Say When and on Deep Pockets was probably when he was at his best like lyrically on this mixtape. Those are probably his most lyrical. They were like pretty much all kind of like not spoken word. They were pretty much kind of like train of thought. And I thought they were all solid. But other than that, I don't think there was anything crazy. I would give him probably a 13 out of 20 for his for lyrics on this.
Okay. So for me, I really enjoyed the lyricism on this album, just like compared to Scorpion, because like that was the last taste of Drake I kind of had in my head, other than Care Package, which wasn't really like.
I forgot he dropped that. I didn't even.
Yeah.
It was like 2 songs.
It was like a pretty big thing, but he recycled. It was a lot of recycled music, so like.
Oh, okay.
It wasn't like too groundbreaking lyrically. It was more just like a vibe, kind of like this thing was. But for this all being like brand new music and brand new ideas, I had some fun with the lyrics he was saying. He had some nice rhyme schemes in there sometimes. And towards the end of the album, when he kind of switched up to like his British flow, like he did with
His what flow? Sorry.
He kind of some like some British like kind of like grunge pop kind or grunge
and
rap
he used
kind of
that
stuff
to kind of like carry on the rhyme scheme. I kind of like that in dang it, what's that song called? The song he did on that European album. That was like, you guys don't know what I'm talking about?
Nah, bro.
It's called. But anyway, I'll look
the
it
European
up.
album.
Yeah, I'll
European
look it up.
album.
I'll look it up. Don't worry. And
Okay.
yeah. So overall, I just really liked the lyrics he chose. So I gave it a 14.
Okay. Yeah. What do you think, Scotty?
I would side a little bit more with theme here. I give it a 12.
Behind Bars. That's what it was called. Behind Bars.
I gave it a 13. I gave it a 13.
Yeah. I mean, to me, like, Drake's a pro. He's, one of the best commercial rappers of the era. And so, obviously, his bars aren't, like, corny or anything. But, to me, they weren't spectacular either. He kind of came off as a little bit paranoid. But I think that was kind of like the theme of the whole album, kind of like a darker tone than we're used to with Drake. But, I mean, the lyrics were solid, Nothing revolutionary, like you said. Pretty similar to a lot of the stuff he's done in the past, talking about his foes and the haters and whatever. But he manages to keep it pretty real.
Yeah. I do want to shout out because it is a shout out. It is not stealing bars. The Superman flow on Chicago Freestyle. He credits Eminem as a writer. I just want to say it is not stolen. Charlie and I had a little beef on that. I don't remember if it was on camera or off camera, but
no, it was on.
I think it was on camera.
It was definitely on camera.
Okay. He I thought that was a good callback to it. But yeah. So what we got next on the rubric?
All right, we got album, narrative, and sequence for 20 points.
Okay. I didn't really, this not being necessarily an album and more of like a mixtape or like a collection of songs. I don't really want to like criticize it for not having much of a narrative. But I guess it is on the rubric, so we do have to grade it. And the sequence was pretty solid. It was like the front half of the album I would say is a little more loaded with like slightly more lyrical, a little more like kind of like freestyle with Chicago freestyle and When to Say When, Deep Pockets, stuff like that. Not You Too. And then the latter half of the album seems more like it's a little more like, I don't want to say modern, but with Pain
It was more
1993
commercial.
with Playboy Cardi and like D4L and
Before L
what was the other one with Future? I don't
with
remember.
Future and Young Thug.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
there was another one with Future on there. Desires,
looking.
I think that was what it was called.
It was Desires. Yeah.
Desires, yeah. That was okay. It was not terrible or anything. Whenever Future and
expected
Drake
more
link
from
up
Future.
for a single, it's not going to be terrible. But
Yeah.
I gave it a 10 out of 20 just because I thought it was pretty much perfectly average in terms of like its sequence. Because I don't really want to count it as narrative, other than it having like the theme of like being dark. But
Yeah.
solid.
Deem, for that same reason, I'm gonna give it an 11 because you pretty much covered on all of my points. But
Okay.
the only thing I just really liked, because there were some moments like at the end of songs where he would have like little skit in there, and then sometimes those skits would transition into another song. I really just like love that while listening to an album. Like Eminem's got a bunch of stuff like that.
It ties everything together. Oh,
Chuck, you good?
Gone for a second, but I guess we'll move on to Scotty.
Yeah. So I gave it a 10. Like you said, Dean. Sequencing was solid, but unexceptional. It wasn't like it was super creative or anything, but most of the songs flowed pretty well together. And as a narrative, like you said, it was more of like the whole album had kind of like this darker, moodier, like sonic ambiance, but there wasn't any real like storyline throughout the album. So I gave it a 10. Like you said, it's more of a mixtape than an album. Seems like a lot of the songs were kind of like songs that were left on the cutting board on the throwaway floor from other projects. Yeah, and he just kind of compiled them all here. Reminds me a little bit of like Untitled Unmastered by Kendrick.
Yeah, I get that. Okay, what are we feeling next for or what we got next on the album rubric?
Flow.
Ooh,
the
flow. Okay.
Flow and cadence.
This is one thing I can't really knock Drake for. He's definitely a pro. He's definitely refined all of his flows. He knows how to flow over a beat. He knows how to make any flow that he does sound very not in a bad way, but very commercial to the point where it's all very catchy. And he knows how to make flowy hooks, like great hooks that flow really nice. And all of his verses are nice, or they just like flow. Each bar flows into one another very well. I would give him a 16 out of 20. Just because I think
it's out of 10. It's out of 10.
It's out of
it's
10,
out of 10. Never mind, my bad. I would give him an 8 out of 10 then. Just because there's nothing bad. I don't think there are any bad flows on this thing, and there's nothing like crazy, but it's all really good. It's all really solid. So
I also gave it an 8. My favorite flow off the album was one of the last tracks, Demons.
Oh, Demons?
Where he was like Fifi, Sosa, viral, movie. And then he kind of like sped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But then he would always recall that first flow, but then switch it up a little bit with the rhyme scheme. I really enjoyed listening to that. So, yeah, overall, just like you said, Deem, there wasn't too much that was like groundbreaking, but he definitely showed off his ability to flow over a beat and to have intricate rhyme schemes.
Yeah, I was pretty similar to you guys. I give him a 7 out of 10. Drake's a vet. He meets the standards on every track here.
Definitely.
I just didn't think there was anything that was like revolutionary, super creative, or like unique. So, for me, it was just a 7. He was solid on all of them. Nothing that was like game changing. Just kind of like a typical run through for him. So I gave him a 7.
All right. Next is wordplay and rhymes.
Okay. I don't really know if there was anything again similar to his flows. I don't think there was anything. There were no corny bars. There was nothing terrible on here. Every bar was pretty solid, pretty above average, as it should be with Drake. Drake's a vet. He's been in the game for a long time. He knows what he's doing. I would give him a 7 out of 10. Is it out of 10? Yeah, I would give him a 7 out of 10.
That's what I
similar reasons. There's nothing crazy on here. He's got a couple cool flows on like, I guess I messed with a couple flows on Chicago Freestyle pretty heavy. I think, not gonna lie, I think he definitely saved Pain 1993 for me, because Playboy Cardi's verse on that is trash.
I thought it was terrible, man. When I was listening to it, I was like, who the hell is this garbage?
Dude, it was trash.
So bad.
I will say I'm going to probably put that on a playlist, and then the second I hear Cardi like start his verse, I'm skipping. But I actually think Drake did pretty solid on that song, and I think the beat by Pierre Bourne is really vibey and really nice. Just quick shout out to that song. I think it was leaked a while ago too. But back to what we were talking about. I think, overall really solid.
I'm mad at Cardi for ruining that song, man. I was really vibing with it, and then Cardi was just like,
bro. Another song I want to talk about is the Not You Too with Chris Brown. I actually really like that track.
They're a good duo, man.
No, but why didn't he should have just given Chris Brown a verse, man. I was like Chris Brown was vibing in the background, and I was like, oh, he's gonna come in right here. And then I just heard like another ad lib, and I was like, damn it, man. Damn it.
Yeah, I wasn't really vibing with the ad libs there. Yeah. But
yeah, I mean, I still thought it was a cool track. It was definitely Drake in his feelings, in his bag. Yeah. Would have appreciated a verse from Chris Brown, because the last time they got together, I was messing with that song, No Guidance. It got a little overplayed, no lie, but when I first heard it, I was messing with it. That's probably one of my standout tracks on the album, other than the two I think he released early, Chicago Freestyle and When to Say When. I thought were pretty good too. So.
Okay. Deem, I also gave it a 7 for pretty much all the reasons you said. I don't think there has to be any more explanation about his rhyme schemes and his ability to will just flat out flow over a beat.
Yeah. Okay, Scotty, what you feeling about it?
Yeah, I mean, I said a 6. I feel like I'm pretty much with you guys.
Scotty's a little more critical of Drake.
I mean, you guys know I'm not the biggest fan of Drake.
Scotty's got high
and
standards.
For me, like he doesn't rhyme that much on this thing, in any like unique ways. And so I just thought, it was a little bit above average, but unexceptional. That's a 6 for me.
Yeah. I can't blame you listening to Nas all the time and Kendrick. I would think Drake is pretty unexceptional.
Boys,
too.
This thing keeps, I don't know, bro. It keeps happening. I don't know why.
Chuck is really excited for this album.
He's tweaking out about his camera.
You said, dog. My freaking internet keeps crashing, but it's chill.
Chuck's on that ratchet Chromebook, bro. I can't blame him. All right. What we got next, man? What we got next?
We got artist voice and delivery.
Out of
10.
Out of 10. Okay. Again, I think it's a pretty common theme with this mixtape. I think Drake knew that none of this was necessarily exceptional, but he's always solid. Artist voice and delivery, that's something Drake excels at with, he's very like in his feelings all the time. Not all the time, but a lot of the time he's in his feelings, and he can really capture a lot of emotion with his voice whenever he wants to. I think he can get a little. I think his voice can get a little repetitive when he's rapping.
It depends on the beat.
I personally don't like when he like fakes a Jamaican accent or a British accent.
Whatever it is.
I think it's really it's low key kind of. I don't want to say bad. Like it's not bad because he still sounds good, But it's just like I would prefer if he just stuck to his just stuck to singing in his natural tone of voice. But that being said, I think he sounds pretty great over the entire mixtape, if you want to call it, I guess. I would give him a 7 out of 10. I think he sounds solid.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I
could bump it to an 8.
I gave it a 9. I actually gave it a 9.
Yeah.
In the parts where he was getting he was kind of in his storytelling bag, man.
Yeah.
Like in I forget what songs, but I'm sure it was in When to Say When and Chicago Freestyle, because those
Deep
are
Pockets too.
Yeah. Yes, that was the first track, right? Yes,
yeah, first track. He was definitely in his bag.
Like as you were saying, like the emotion in his voice, kind of the somewhat pain, but almost the like I don't really care pain. I'm just gonna tell you anyway. Not like I'm gonna break down and cry, but like the is what it is pain.
Yeah.
That's the type of voice that kind of like draws me in, and I really gravitated toward that with this album, and that's something I don't think I've seen from Drake since like Take Care.
Yeah.
Which as you guys know, that's my favorite Drake album.
Dang,
And
not on If You're Reading This Is Too Late? Really?
No, man,
Damn.
I mess with it, but not
Damn.
as much as Take Care. And then unlike you, I actually do kind of vibe with the accent that he does. I don't know what to classify it as, but like
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I think anyone who listens to Drake or hears the songs will know what we're talking about. But
that's why I gave it a 9.
Yeah. Okay, Scotty, what are you feeling?
I'm more with Deem here. I gave it a 7. I wasn't really digging the accent like you guys were talking about. But, for the most part, honestly, I usually find Drake's voice to be kind of soft and almost a little bit annoying. But on this record, I thought it was actually –
What?
I know. But on this record, I actually thought it was nice. I thought he did a much better job than on previous albums like Scorpion in displaying a much deeper emotional range and kind of like matching his vocal delivery with the whole tone of the album and kind of like a more serious mood, like you were talking about, Chuck, not just like cry your heart out pain, but more of like a low-key type of it is what it is pain. And so I thought his vocal delivery was actually pretty solid on here. He varied it well.
Yeah.
All right. Next is features.
Okay.
Features were solid.
There weren't like a lot of features on the album to be. Well,
No.
I guess there were, but like Future was on here twice. I think Young Thug was pretty solid.
Dude,
on.
I actually liked a Young Thug verse.
I thought it was. I was
solid.
Amazed. I messed with Future. I didn't really like Desires just like as a track. I wasn't really messing with it. So not really to the fault of Future having a bad verse or anything. I think Fivio, what was it? 504 or Fivio Foreigner, however you pronounce it.
The guy on Demons.
On Demons, yeah. I think he was pretty cool. It was solid. It was pretty standard. I think Chris Brown could have had
he was under you
banger feature. He could have been so good on that song. I gotta like tone it down because it could have been so much better than it was on that track. Playboy Cardi did not hit for me on this track. I'm usually okay with Playboy Cardi on other songs, but it did not hit for me on this track. So I guess out of 10, I would give it probably a 5. I would give it a 5.
Okay. I'd give it
pretty average.
I gave it a 6, man.
Yeah.
Because I think Future was a little underutilized because I kind of like when they go back and forth with their verses sometimes.
Real quick, what are your guys' opinions on Future? Do you think because I hear a lot of people saying he's like a GOAT and he's like
I think he's terrible.
Wow, okay. That was fast.
He's a feature artist for me. He's got to be a feature.
Okay.
He can't make his own music, dog.
He
has nothing to say, bro. Like I think he's kind of cool and catchy, but like
all he can talk about is sip and lean, man. Like that's it.
I've never listened to a full Future album, so I don't know if I can necessarily criticize him on it, but I have The Wizard. Never mind. Is that what it was? Future Hendrix presents The Wizard.
Oh man. Look, his songs, like his voice sounds pretty cool.
He's got a pretty interesting voice.
His songs are catchy. He has good production.
Yeah.
He just has nothing to say.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like back to what I was saying, just like Future in general on Drake projects or with Drake in general. I always like when they trade verses. That didn't happen on Desires. It happened a little bit on the song they also did with Young Thug that I really messed with.
T for L. I don't know what that actually stands for.
I don't know either. Well, because I didn't even know the name of the song. But the reason it's actually bumped up a little for me, man, is because I actually enjoyed a Young Thug verse for one of the first times in my life. He didn't sound terrible, and he didn't sound like a goat that was being strangled. So, for that reason, I gave it a 6. Playboy Cardi, I hate you with a burning passion.
Dang, you hate him?
Dude,
you hate him?
It's just people hype him up so much, dog.
Yeah.
He's nothing. He's nothing. bro. He cannot carry a song by himself. He's not a good feature artist. Sometimes if he has a feature with him, it's okay, depending on the production.
I think when him and Uzi link up, it can be a pretty catchy song.
Yeah, but aren't they like beefing right now?
I think it was fake.
Was it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
But like, no, I don't mess with Playboy Cardi.
Yeah.
Like the classics like Magnolia and like Woke Up like I can vibe with those, but like not like listening to an actual Cardi project though.
Scotty's like classics.
Scotty's like, yep. In New York, I Millie Rock.
So are we moving on to the next one?
Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't talk about features yet, but
oh, my bad. Okay, go for it.
You're good. I pretty much the same stuff you guys said. I gave it a 5. You know, Future was, he wasn't bad here, but he didn't do anything for me. Playboy Cardi, even though he's usually pretty catchy, his verse was garbage. Young Thug was pretty tolerable, and Chris Brown.
Are you on podcast?
Yeah.
Yo, shout out Mr. Gewurz.
I don't know. You ate one of my tacos, but then the second I had one of my 2 tacos, but then I never got a second one, so I don't know.
So do you think they didn't give it?
I had to grub.
Probably. Or maybe either that or Peter was eating somebody else's taco.
Hey, yo, shout out to Scott's family from
Scott's
on our podcast.
Cameo in every episode.
Shout out Taco Bell, baby.
Shout out Taco Bell. Not messing with Taco Bell. I can't shout out Taco Bell. They're trash, but
come on, dog.
Bro, of course.
Bro, their tacos are like this wide, bro.
Yeah, but just get the potato tacos, dog, and then get like the strawberry freeze.
This is not the food channel. Food channel coming soon, by the way. This is not the food channel. All right.
Okay, I guess.
Talk about Drake.
Anyways, 5 out of 10 for features.
All right. Next is production.
This is probably the strongest part of the album for me. I think his production is. I don't know, Scotty's. I think
you're not messing with the production. Ooh, okay, Scotty.
No, I dropped Taco Bell, dog.
Oh, okay. I thought he was blaspheming.
It wasn't a bad reaction to the production.
No, I think the production is pretty great overall. You know, this late in Drake's career, he's not gonna have a badly produced set of songs. Probably never gonna have another badly produced song again. Yeah. You know, it's all very somber. All of the production is really like almost like breezy and like melancholy. It's very vibey. I like it. I would give it probably a 9 out of 10. There not really any flaws for me. I think it has a pretty wide range of beats, you know, from Chicago freestyle all the way to D4L, which is much more trap influenced and very, you know, very catered to Young Thug and Future a lot more than Drake. Yeah, I think it's pretty stripped back too. There's not a lot going on with the production. It's just very simple. Keep it simple. Keep it safe. It's solid. It's really good. I would give it a 9 out of 10.
I also gave it a 9 for pretty much the exact same reasons.
Okay.
They did a good job of keeping the production consistent while at the same time not every song sounding the same. If you all know what I'm saying.
That's true.
Which is very important in trying to like create an overall theme with an album, which they did pretty decently on this album.
Yeah.
I'm with you guys, but as usual, I gave it 1 score lower. I gave it an 8. I thought it was pretty good. Like you said, Chuck, consistent, kept the somber, kind of paranoid tone going throughout the whole thing. I thought on songs like Deep Pockets, it really came out nicely. But nice. I thought there were also a couple of tracks where he just kind of seemed to give in a little bit to kind of like popular, generic beats and like
Pussy Slide.
Pussy Slide did nothing for me at all, bro.
I mean, that's I don't know why he threw it on.
Michael Jackson.
I don't know why he threw it on them, man. That was just he literally made that for TikTok.
I would have just left it as a single, and I think nobody would have been. Yeah,
nobody would have cared.
So I gave it an 8. Still pretty good throughout the whole thing, though.
Every day with it, I'm gonna show you how to do it.
Nah, I can't dance to it. I've heard it probably like 100,000 times at this point. I can't anymore.
Right foot slide. Okay.
What we got next? We got memorability.
Last one. Memorability worth 10 points. Last thing.
Okay. I think I'm a little bit divided because I think there are going to be some pretty big songs off here, you know? I think probably D4L is probably going to end up being a pretty big hit. I think you know, Pain 1993 was a leak and it was pretty hyped up on SoundCloud already, so I think that'll probably go pretty big. I think obviously Tootsie Slide is gonna carry this thing in terms of memorability because everyone knows that song. It's kind of like Hotline Bling 2.0 in my opinion, in a way where it's like it was made just to be like a dance song. That's a guilty pleasure song. I like that song.
Dude,
But no lie, but I don't not as much as Tootsie Slide. I would give it. I still can't. I can't like let those like couple songs like prop this thing up. I would probably give it 6 out of 10 for memorability. I got a feeling Scotty's gonna be a little more harsh, but I'm not sure.
Yeah. You're on the money, Chuck.
I gave it a 7.
A 7, wow.
Yeah, I gave it a 7.
Really? 7?
Well, honestly, bro, my reasoning for this is because Drake has become so commercial.
Yeah.
And like everything he's put out and released is supposed to have been like a hit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at Scorpion. Scorpion is just an attempt to make every song a hit.
I thought Scorpion would be forgotten by now, but it was so like.
No, it's so bad that like we remember it. But,
yeah.
But honestly, this kind of project I kind of messed with just because like Drake kind of did something different with it.
Yeah.
Now in terms of like each individual song, they're all kind of gonna blend together at some point. But we're obviously going to have the standouts like Tootsie Slide, probably Deep Pockets and Chicago Freestyle, just like by names and stuff. But
I love the hook on Chicago Freestyle.
Oh, absolutely, man.
Hook is such a vibe.
That's probably the best track on the album.
Yeah, I like that.
But yeah, I'm going to remember it as Drake kind of trying to return to form and doing something different, which I appreciated.
Okay.
So I gave it a 7.
I see that. I'm fit. I want to predict Scotty's. I'm gonna say 4.
It's definitely a 4, dog.
Yeah, it's a 4.
Yeah, let's go.
I have nothing against this album. Like you guys said, pretty solid production, solid songwriting. There's just nothing on here that stands out to me. To me, it's just kind of like add 1 or 2 songs to your playlist and move on. There's really no incentive for me to come back and listen to this whole thing again. It doesn't have like a consecutive storyline. It's more of just like a tone that he carries on throughout the songs. And so some of the tracks I didn't really like much, especially with the features like Playboy Cardi's feature. And so, again, in Drake's long and commercially successful discography, is this going to be looked back on as anything, top notch or like great for him? I don't think so. I think it'll kind of fade away. Like you said, Chuck, it is a little bit of a nice comeback after Scorpion, which was pretty terrible. But, this isn't like revolutionary or anything. And again, it's kind of a mixtape, not an album. And for me, Tootsie Slide, it was already a made song before it was out on this. And so that's not really going to make this more memorable to me because people were already so familiar with it. So I gave it a 4.
Yeah, I could see that. I think I do want to preface to everyone watching, you don't necessarily have to look at this album rubric as like 100% because it probably is a little harsh for like a mixtape of this caliber, I still think it pretty accurately captures like the overall like quality of the mixtape. But I'm sure Drake released this and was like, yeah, I mean it's like a mixtape, we'll just give the fans some songs, nothing really
totally.
all like a similar tone, but like that being said, it was nothing crazy. Yeah.
All right.
So I think we're just counting up our final scores now, right?
I already did mine while I was lagging out.
Nice.
What's yours, Chuck?
Mine was a 71.
Almost as high as Kamikaze.
How do you remember my Kamikaze score, dog?
It was a 77.
I do not remember.
I remember Scott.
I didn't remember.
I remember Scott thought he got the math wrong, but I went back and looked at it, and I was like, he did get the math right.
So like a 50.
That's how I remember. What'd you give it, Scotty?
Okay, so my rubric added up to a 59. A bit on the low side.
I gave it a 65.
I could bump it up to a 60, 65, but again, there was solid couple songs I like. Add to a playlist and move on.
Yeah.
Yo, we were all 6 apart.
70. What was your score? 71?
71.
Yeah, I guess so.
That's quick math. That's quick math.
Yeah, well, I think that caps off the episode. remember, guys, like, comment, subscribe. Comment down below what you guys thought about the mixtape. I guess not really an album. Let us know if you thought Drake returned
Everybody
to form
trash
on this.
Playboy Cardi's verse in the comments.
Let
man.
us know your thoughts on the
Let
Playboy
us
Cardi
know.
verse. I wasn't
Playboy
messing with
Cardi.
it. I've heard some people saying he carried the song. I don't know
No.
about that. I don't
No.
know about that. Yeah.
Bro, I saw a meme the day the mixtape dropped, and it was like LeBron.
Today.
No, it dropped like last night. It dropped yesterday. It dropped yesterday.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it dropped yesterday, and it was
Okay.
like it was Drake looking at Playboy Cardi after his verse on Fan 1993, and it was LeBron looking at J.R. Smith after the score, like the
Yeah, bro. Drake probably went into this and
That
was
thing
like,
every
"Let's
time.
make this a banger, bro." And then Playboy Cardi's like, "Slip." Like the whole verse, bro. It's so bad.
Oh man.
But anyways, everyone, thanks for watching. This has been The Last Word.